A lot of you commented on my last Copilot video saying you could not find projects. And honestly, I understand the confusion because I can see projects inside my free personal Microsoft account, but I cannot see the same feature inside my paid company account. That sounds completely backwards, but it reveals one of the biggest problems with Microsoft Copilot. Copilot is not one product. Microsoft uses the Copilot name for several different experiences, and what you receive depends on your account, your license, your company settings, and sometimes whether Microsoft has rolled the feature out to you yet. And now that confusion matters even more because Microsoft has released something much bigger. It is called Copilot Cowork. Cowork can search your company information, organize meetings, create documents, prepare presentations, send emails, and complete an entire multi-step assignment. But even when your company already pays for Microsoft 365 Copilot, you still might not be able to use it. In this video, I will explain what Cowork actually does, why you probably cannot access it, what it really costs, and how it compares with the brand new ChatGPT Work. And if you want my deeper guide with the links, examples, and setup information, comment AI below and I will send it to you. Let's start with the confusion that brought most of you here. When someone says, I use Microsoft Copilot, that does not tell us very much. They might be using the free consumer version with a personal Microsoft account. They might have a Microsoft 365 personal subscription. They might be using Copilot Chat through their employer. Or their company might be paying for the full Microsoft 365 Copilot license connected to Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, and SharePoint. These experiences may use the same Copilot name and look very similar, but they are not identical. Some features appear in personal accounts first. Other features are only designed for organizations. Some features depend on your subscription, and some must be approved by your company's IT administrator before you ever see them. Microsoft also rolls out features gradually. That means two people can open Copilot on the same day and see completely different options. One person might have projects, notebooks, pages, or a new agent, while someone else cannot find the feature anywhere. So before assuming you are doing something wrong, check which account you are using. Look at the email address connected to Copilot. Is it your personal Microsoft account or your company account? Then check which Copilot license is attached to it. That one detail can completely change what you see. And when we start talking about Cowork, your license matters even more. Before Cowork, Copilot could already help you perform individual actions. For example, you could ask it to find an available time for a meeting. It could check the calendars, suggest the time, prepare the invitation, and ask for your approval before sending it. You could also ask Copilot to review previous emails, find the people involved in a project, and draft a message to them. Those actions are already useful, but you are still directing each individual part of the process. Find the people, draft the message, schedule the meeting, create the document. Cowork takes those separate actions and combines them into one larger assignment. That is the real shift. Imagine that you need to organize a company volunteer day. Normally, you would have to search through emails from last year, find everyone who helped, figure out what each person worked on, choose a date, schedule meetings, contact the team, and create all the planning materials. With Cowork, you can describe that complete outcome in one assignment. You could say, review last year's volunteer day information, find everyone who contributed and identify what they worked on, assign responsibilities based on their previous experience, suggest a date, schedule a kickoff meeting and regular progress meetings, ask the team for their input, then create a planning brief, a task tracker, and a kickoff presentation. That is not one question. It is a complete project. Cowork separates the assignment into steps and begins working through them. It searches the information it has permission to access. It identifies the previous participants. It matches people with responsibilities. It prepares the meetings. And it creates the deliverables. In this example, Cowork creates a written planning brief, an Excel task tracker, and a PowerPoint kickoff presentation. Instead of asking 10 different questions and manually moving the answers between Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and your calendar, you give Cowork the outcome. It organizes the process and starts completing the work. And it does not have to be an event. You could use the same approach to prepare for an important project meeting. Cowork could review the meeting invitation, recent emails, project documents, and budget information. Then it could identify the most important decisions, risks, and outstanding actions before creating a briefing note and draft agenda. Regular Copilot helps you complete individual actions. Cowork manages an entire assignment. Now, this does not mean Cowork should be allowed to do anything it wants. You are still responsible for the outcome. Cowork shows you the steps it is taking, and you can follow its progress while it works. you can give it more information, you can change the direction, you can pause the assignment. And for important actions, such as sending an email, posting a Teams message, or creating a meeting, Cowork asks for your approval before the action happens. So think of Cowork as an assistant completing the assignment, with you still supervising the work. You are no longer clicking through every step yourself, but you are also not completely giving up control. That balance is what makes this different from a normal chatbot. Cowork can also schedule an assignment to run again automatically. For example, you could ask it to create a complete briefing every Monday morning. It could review the previous week's emails and Teams messages. It could check recently shared documents. It could look at your upcoming meetings and identify what you need to prepare. It could even add outside information such as the weather and local events that might affect your commute. Then it could organize everything into one Monday morning briefing. Microsoft calls this a scheduled prompt. But it can do much more than simply repeat one basic question. A simple scheduled prompt might ask, "Summarize my unread emails every Monday." A Cowork scheduled prompt can repeat the complete workflow, review the emails, connect them to your active projects, identify the urgent items, check your calendar, prepare a prioritized briefing, and draft the responses that need your attention. The schedule repeats, but so does the entire job. That is where these agent-style tools become much more valuable than a normal chatbot. Now we need to talk about the catch. There are 3 gates between you and Copilot Cowork. The first gate is the license. Cowork is designed for Microsoft 365 Copilot customers. Having a free personal Microsoft account is not enough. Having Microsoft 365 personal or family is not enough. And simply having Copilot chat through your employer does not necessarily mean that you have the full Microsoft 365 Copilot license. The second gate is your administrator. Cowork is turned off by default. Your company decides when to enable it, who can access it, and how much people are allowed to use. Your administrator may make Cowork visible so that you can request access. Or the company may decide not to make it visible at all. That decision belongs to your organization, not to the individual employee. And then there is the third gate, the part that will surprise most people. Cowork uses separate usage-based billing. Cowork is not simply unlimited inside the regular Microsoft 365 Copilot subscription. Each assignment consumes something called Copilot credits. The number of credits depends on what Cowork does during the assignment. That includes which AI model it uses, how much company context it retrieves, which tools it calls, and how long the assignment runs. A small task should consume fewer credits. A large assignment that searches many files, uses several tools, and runs for a long time should consume more. Microsoft currently offers different ways for organizations to pay. A company can use pay-as-you-go billing, where the cost is based on the credits consumed, or it can purchase usage capacity in advance. Administrators can set budgets, allocate credits, limit access, and monitor usage by user or group. Employees can also see how many credits their assignments consume. So the real question is not simply, does my company have Microsoft Copilot? The real questions are, does my company have the correct Microsoft 365 Copilot license? Has my administrator made Cowork available to me? And has the organization configured the usage-based billing required to run it? If the answer to any of those questions is no, Cowork may not appear, or you may be unable to start an assignment. This is why someone can work at a large company with a premium Microsoft environment and still not have access. Microsoft is not the only company moving beyond the chatbot. OpenAI recently released ChatGPT Work, and it is probably the closest mainstream comparison with Copilot Cowork. The basic idea is very similar. You give ChatGPT Work a larger assignment instead of asking one isolated question. It can gather information, plan the approach, and take action across your tools, files, browser, and desktop applications. It can create finished documents, spreadsheets, presentations, reports, and other deliverables. You can follow its progress, answer questions, change its direction, and approve important actions while it works. But there is a major difference in access. Copilot Cowork is designed for Microsoft 365 Copilot customers and requires your organization to configure usage-based billing. ChatGPT Work is available through the ChatGPT desktop application on Windows and Mac across all ChatGPT plans. Yes, that includes the free plan on desktop. Paid plans can also access ChatGPT Work through web and mobile, depending on the account and rollout. That creates a surprising situation. You might have a paid Microsoft Copilot account at work and still be unable to access Cowork, but you could install the ChatGPT desktop application, open a free personal account, and already have access to ChatGPT Work. However, free access does not mean unlimited use. Your usage limits still depend on your ChatGPT plan, and features such as recurring scheduled tasks are available only on supported paid plans. But for individuals, freelancers, and small business owners, ChatGPT Work has a much simpler entry point. You do not need an employer to purchase a Microsoft 365 Copilot license. You do not need an IT administrator to enable Cowork, and you do not need your organization to configure a separate Copilot credit budget before you can test the basic experience. But this is extremely important. Do not move company information from your protected Microsoft environment into a personal ChatGPT account simply because ChatGPT Work is easier to access. Having access to a tool does not mean you have permission to use it with confidential work information. Your employer may have approved Microsoft Copilot because it works inside the company's existing security, privacy, retention, and compliance controls. That does not automatically mean your company has approved a personal ChatGPT account. So, before connecting an AI tool to your company apps or uploading internal files, check your organization's AI and information management policies. An easier tool is not always the correct tool for company information. So, which one should you use? It depends on where your work already lives. If your company operates inside Microsoft 365 and most of your work happens in Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, Copilot Cowork has a major advantage. It can work across the environment your organization already manages while respecting your existing Microsoft permissions and company controls. It may already have access to the meetings, documents, coworkers, and organizational information required to complete the assignment. ChatGPT Work may have a lower barrier to entry, especially for individuals. It can work across files, websites, desktop applications, and a large ecosystem of connected tools, but your company may not allow it to access internal information. So this is not only about which AI model is smarter, it is about which tool can access the right information, which tool your organization has approved, how much control you need, and how the usage is being paid for. For personal work, freelance projects, or information you are authorized to use, ChatGPT Work may be the fastest way to experience this new style of AI. For enterprise work that already lives inside Microsoft 365, Copilot Cowork may be the more natural option, assuming your organization enables it and is comfortable paying for the additional usage. Here is the bigger lesson. Everyone online is debating ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Codex, and whichever new AI tool launched this week. But the people who get ahead at work will not necessarily be the people who know the most tool names. They will be the people who learn how to hand off real work safely and consistently. Start with one workflow. Maybe it is preparing your Monday briefing. Maybe it is organizing a meeting. Maybe it is reviewing project documents. Maybe it is creating a weekly report. Use AI on that workflow for 2 weeks and document what changes. How much time did you save? What improved? Where did the AI make mistakes? And which steps still require the person. Then show those results to your team or manager. Because the strongest case for using AI at work is not another presentation about the future. It is evidence that one real workflow became faster, clearer, or easier. The people who learn how to supervise these tools are not only using automation, they are becoming the people their organizations call when they need someone who understands how the automation should work. I can explain every feature, every license, and every new AI tool, but the one thing that will put you ahead of most people is actually using one of them. So comment AI below and I will send you the deeper guide with the Copilot Cowork and ChatGPT Work links, examples, and setup information. And I also want to know what you see inside your own account. Can you find projects? Can you find Cowork? And are you using a personal Microsoft account or a company account? Tell me in the comments, because I want to see how different the Copilot experience is for everyone. I am Tiago. If this video helped you, watch my first Microsoft Copilot video next. That video covers 9 practical Copilot features you can begin exploring, and it picks up perfectly with what we discussed today. I also publish a free newsletter where I go deeper into practical AI tools and workflows you can actually use at work. The link is in the description, and if you are on TikTok, come find me there too. I share weekly AI tips and tricks that I do not always cover here on YouTube. Subscribe if you are not already, and I will see you in the next one.